Welcome to GamesBeat Rewind. This week we'll be going over the best games of the year through a variety of categories. Today, it's the non-awards. This is GamesBeat's chance to talk about the games and the things that happened that don't necessarily fit into other categories. Joining us today is myself, Jeffrey Grubb, GamesBeat Managing Editor, Jason Wilson, GamesBeat's Reviews Editor, Mike Minotti, GamesBeat Writer and Reporter, Stephanie Chan, and GamesBeat's PC Gaming Guest Post Editor, Rowan Kaiser. We're going to be with you all week, so be sure to check in every day for a new podcast and check GamesBeat.com for write-ups and more looking back at 2017. Hey you, yeah, you, the one trying to make a video game. I've got someone here that can help you, and that someone is Intel, which is not a someone, it's a company. But this company, they are going to help you as if they were a somebody and a someone and also a something. Check out software.intel.com/gamedev to find out how Intel is making sure all the innovation in gaming continues to happen on the PC as part of the Intel Game Dev program. Again, that URL is software.intel.com/gamedev. Sign up and start something new. I have one here for, let's see, well, Dean's not here, so I wrote this one down. He was going to take it, but and he might still write this. The Elite Pro #1 Cuphead Gamer in the Universe Award goes to Dean Takahashi.
Sponsored by Gillette Fusion.
Okay, so the reason I would want to bring this up at all is just because it felt like a really weird year for things blowing up on YouTube, more or less, I guess is what I would be. That would be the subtext of this award. It felt like the loot box thing came to a head because of YouTube. It felt like our Cuphead thing, really blew up because people jumped on it on YouTube. And while Dean is like our #1 Cuphead pro gamer, it was such a minuscule thing that he did that it's hard to recognize or reconcile that with what it turned into.
Well, we need the short, pithy, 50-word explanation of what happened.
Yeah, let's kind of go over it. You're right. So Dean went to Gamescom in Germany, and he was our only writer there. So he was playing some games that we got invited to, but PR say, hey, you're going to be there. Can you come play this? And we're like, well, Dean's going to be there. We'll send him your way. And Dean went Microsoft's way to play Cuphead, which is that sort of excellent looking throwback retro style cartoon shooter. It's like a run and gun platformer. And Dean's not very good at those. No one really knows the history of Dean and where he comes from in terms of gaming. He's been writing about it for a long time, but who knows if he sometimes makes jokes that he doesn't know what Mega Man is, mostly to annoy Mike, but maybe there could be some truth there. And it felt like watching that video, there could be some truth there.
Well,
he was bad at it. He was very bad.
Dean's favorite games are strategy games and shooters, and I'd argue that he's probably the best at strategy games. He's an excellent Total War player, for example.
Yeah, exactly. And those are it's a whole an entirely different skill set than what he was applying in Cuphead. So he got the video and he said it was worthless. And I actually told him, you got to go post that. It's really funny. I want people to see how bad you are. It's that makes me happy. And then people caught on to it, and there was basically some neo-reactionaries that found it and decided to use this to further some weird internet agendas that it's still kind of hard to get my mind around. And then it turned into this whole thing on YouTube. I mean, what does this make any of you guys think of? Does this kind of bring anything to mind for you?
You say YouTube. I think Reddit has really been first off. That's where this stuff started getting a lot of traction. That's really where the Battlefront thing really went to a head, and now they're kind of picking on Destiny, and that's kind of been picking up a little traction now too, right? Where, like these things that used to be like on a message. Oh, people on the message boards are talking. It'd be like, that's cute, whatever. Now it's like, oh gosh, this is actually like a big deal.
Exactly. I think it makes it so you can't ignore Reddit. I don't think anyone was necessarily ignoring it, but you can't let that community go without responding to it, head on. If you're a publisher, if you're EA or if you're, Microsoft or whoever, now Bungie. Like Bungie changed their plans because of what was happening mostly on Reddit. You're right. That they were going to do a big stream about their next content, which actually just came out. And they had to step back because people were discovering weird things about the progression. They felt they were being lied to and misled. And as these things tend to, they're always framed as like a consumer revolt or consumer advocacy. And it rarely ever feels like that truly or honestly. So in the end, it just feels like no matter what, though, no matter what, like if they're doing it in bad faith or not, you have to do something about it. You can't let it get out of hand, because if they can do it to Dean over Cuphead, which is just such a nothing thing. It was never an actual problem in any way. But they turned it into one of the biggest problems of the year. It really felt like at the time. If they could do it to that, they could do it to anything. And maybe sometimes there is something really there that, there's a problem. The EA thing with Battlefront 2, that was a real problem. But yeah, if you can't ignore it. That's how it feels.
I don't know, man. We might have ruined Cuphead. That poor game. It came out and no one cared about it.
That's right. Yeah, I haven't heard anyone mention it one iota ever since.
Well, I think it, I'm not sure if it hurt Cuphead, but, Cuphead came out at a pretty competitive time of the year in the first place.
No. We're being sarcastic, Jason. I think Cuphead actually sold really well, apparently.
We're being very sarcastic. Cuphead's a big success.
Well, I can't tell your sarcasm.
Yeah, we're from the Midwest. It's very different over there.
Yes, apparently so.
We can move on to the next award. Does anyone want to step forward with one? Anyone have one ready to go?